it's a very, I don't know what the broader context of this question is, so I won't make it, let's say.
You don't even know what, oh, come on. You couldn't even find the original interview, Mike. Okay.
He just came out for Pete. Wait. Robert De Niro just is a Pete Buttigieg supporter? De Niro is a Mayo Pete nerd? What? You know Mandy Moore is also a fucking Mayo Pete nerd.
Yeah, there's
too.
a bunch of...
Damn, dude. These guys going after Pete. Can somebody help me with this one? I don't get it, dude. God, I feel like I have no respect for any of these people. I hate them all, dude. Can somebody please break this down for me?
The kids need to see evidence that education is going to work for them, right? So you see a lot of parts of
That's
town
part of the
where-
motivation.
Yeah, because you're motivated because you believe that at the end of your educational process there's a reward, there's a stable life, there's a job, and there are a lot of kids, especially the lower income minority neighborhoods, who literally just haven't seen it work. There isn't somebody they know personally
And I think that's
who
why
testifies to
mentoring
the
is so
value of
important.
education.
They
So
need
yeah,
to meet that
you bet.
person.
This seems totally standard to me. Like, having role models around you showing you that, like, the system can produce positive results is, like, pretty important. I don't think that's really controversial, right? Like, growing up in an area where you see people go to college, get a job, be successful, that's really important. We talk about representation across different fields all the fucking time. This guy is disgusting, folks. What? Nina Turner, what in the unfiltered? What is the problem? What am I missing? Is it just because is it my lib brain? I honestly wonder what people like Michael think. Well, the problem is that Pete's not Bernie Sanders, so... It's literally anybody that's not Bernie that starts to go in the polls. People just do these crazy attacks, dude. They think it means black people don't know that education is beneficial, but they don't get it. It's more about role models and just understanding restraint. Well, but like in this case, it's somewhat true, right? That like if you don't have, like, I thought this was the whole point of affirmative action, isn't it? Like,
damn, I'm back again.
If you grow up in a shitty area and the only people around you are like fucking drug dealers or some shit, and you don't know anybody that's like gone to school, been successful, you don't have that role model in your life, especially in a country whose criminal justice system incentivizes, like recidivization, like people going back to jail over and over again, like stuff like that keeps fathers away from their kids. Why not? Like, isn't this what we would expect? Like, this is literally like, I don't know. It seems like really basic. Michael says it's a bootstraps answer.
Let's do another very damning.
Hey,
Pete
buddy.
Buttigieg is like the Lib Dems of the United States. I've decided. I think we all agreed, and did everybody basically agree in Philadelphia?
Pichu, listen, I've ran out of Stardew players, okay? How good are you at Stardew Valley? Because we've ran out of... we've ran out.
Philadelphia, that
Pete's the worst.
Pete's the worst.
He's
Pete's
definitely worse
absolutely-
than Biden.
Literally not a candidate up there I wouldn't vote for over Pete.
Pete's worse than Biden. Why? Because Pete's doing so well in Iowa? Is that why we're like so big on him now?
I couldn't think of. Because this is serious, because it's
New
not
place, same
just
Steve
it's,
Teddy Pepe.
one, as Crystal Ball pointed out, there's something just so devastatingly depressing about somebody so young repeating so much pablum and bullshit. But it's also that, look, if we take some horrifying, depressing scenario like Joe Biden, it is anything besides Bernie's a setback, if we're being real. And then it's just a degree of setback. But Pete Buttigieg represents generations defining reassertion of failed hegemony and failed ideas. And I think that this is really important. I mean, this clip is from 2011, and these clips are not, Pete Buttigieg's record on race is not the product of somebody who didn't use woke terminology or needs to be educated on certain policy sets. This is somebody who actually has been involved in issues with regards to race, policing, gentrification, and here has an attitude on education that show that he clearly, sincerely, and horrifyingly wrongly diagnose things. This is Pete Buttigieg from 2011.
The kids need to see evidence that education is going to work for them, right? So you see a lot of parts. That's part of the motivation. Yeah, because you're motivated because you believe that at the end of your educational process, there's a reward, there's a stable life, there's a job, and there are a lot of kids, especially the lower income minority neighborhoods, who literally just haven't seen it work. There isn't somebody they know personally who testifies to the value of education. So yeah, you bet. The kids need to.
Wait, Peachaboo. What? I don't know what your name is. Fucking Christ. I want to say Peachaboo, but I don't know what's your name. Are you a Stardew god? Peachachoo, not Peachaboo. Do you know how to 100% the grandpa run? That's what I need to know.
So let's just be really clear, because I tweeted this out and I saw some people still get, it's amazing, honestly, that some people could be following me and still be so delusional. He is speaking about people. And it's a very, I don't know what the broader context of this question is, so I won't make it, let's say.
You don't even know what, oh, come on. You couldn't even find the original interview, Mike. You couldn't even find the original interview to see what he was responding. We're just going to go off this one clip. All right, Mike, let's do it.
Speaking about people. And it's a very, I don't know what the broader context of this question is, so I won't make it, let's say people from any community that are experiencing poverty and lack of social mobility, right? Let's say that's who he's speaking to. I would be shocked if it wasn't. This discourse was normal racialized across the board. I just heard a clip of Sam Harris saying something like this the other, like asking a guy if, doing it well at school was acting white or something. So the point is that the reason that people are having trouble at school and having trouble moving up a ladder is because the entire economic and political deck is stacked against them on a material level, not because they don't have positive role models.
That's what it is. You fucking piece of shit. Oh, man, dude. Man, if you're a minority, I would watch out for these slimy, snaky motherfuckers. I'm glad. Well, hold on. Actually, I will not call Michael Brooks a slimy, snaky motherfucker because at least he's honest about it. So if you're black, fuck off about your racial issues. It's not about race, dude. It's just about class. That's what he's saying. Does anybody remember being in high school and figuring this out? Or did anybody else go through that libertarian phase? I went through a libertarian phase when I was in high school. When I was like 16, 17, I was like, oh my God, dude, hold on. I'm actually so smart. Women and black people aren't discriminated against in society. It's just poor people, dude. Everything just comes down to money. I'm so smart. I figured it all out. I'm only 16, 17. I remember thinking this back in high school. And yeah, where are the Ron Paulers at? And they're back. So, okay, so hold on. So I would like to walk back what I said. I do not think that Michael is a slimy snake, okay? He at least is being very honest with what he believes.
At school and having trouble moving up a ladder is because the entire economic and political deck is stacked against them on a material level, not because they don't have positive role models.
So he doesn't give a fuck about like equal representation or having positive role models because none of that is real to him. Probably because he's fucking white, right? Because all he sees is class. You're poor, you're rich, and that's it. There aren't like, I'm being actually super uncharitable here because he must acknowledge that there's some level of like racial animosity present in like the criminal justice system or something, right? He must believe that. He can't think that it's all class. There's no way that Mike is that dense, right? There's no possible way. There's no possible way.
And by the way, not because also you don't go to a very wide variety of circumstances and background and you don't actually meet incredibly well-read, highly educated people, because there's a whole other subtext, barely subtext, that we're confusing testing and accreditation with intellectual acumen. They might have overlap in some cases, but they're absolutely not the same thing. And secondly, and thirdly, education does not solve poverty. Poverty is a resource and distributional problem. And this is a scam that conservatives and neoliberals have been running for decades, which is that we can deindustrialize, we can totally hack the safety net, we can have no public provisions for housing and healthcare that are real, substantive, and sustainable. We can
One thing that I kind of wonder too, I don't know what the answer is to that. I just Googled real quick. What did I Google? Can education solve poverty? And the first thing that came up was role of education, ending extreme poverty, taking a global leap. But I haven't read this. I don't know if it's possible. This is a 2014 paper as well. Maybe increasing education doesn't actually combat poverty. I'm not sure. One thing that's very strange to me is a lot of these socialist lefty guys, they fetishize.
Can we just build nuclear power plants already and solve most of our problems?
They fetishize blue-collar work. Like, they actually disparage white-collar work. It's not so much that, like, okay, you're white-collar, like, you're fucking up right now, or no, I'm sorry, like you're a white collar, you're fucking up the economy, like it's all your fault, blah, 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 fuck you. But it's actually like a more of like, if you work a white collar job, you're just like, shit, like fuck you. Like the only real workers, the only real people in this country are people that do good, honest, blue collar work. Everyone else is bullshit. Like I get that feeling sometimes. So I wonder if this attack on education is more just like a fuck white collar workers, amen to blue collar work. Like that's what I get that feel a lot.
We can totally hack the safety net. We can have no public provisions for housing and healthcare that are real, substantive, and sustainable. We can redline people. We can racially discriminate against them. We can box in resources. And then all we need is, well, not, and then of course we need to terrorize the teachers and the teachers unions, but we just need somebody to see somebody from their neighborhood get educated and do well. I'll tell you this,
That's such a weirdly reductive answer. I feel like I'm listening to, ironically enough, Sargon of Akkad right now. Oh, Stephen, so you think that seeing a black person doing well is going to be enough for other black people to do well? That's it, Stephen? How stupid is that? You're infantilizing black people. Well, no, it's part of like a broader movement to like get more people involved in society, right?
For a fact that you can hear countless stories of people from different backgrounds saying, I actually do know X, Y, or Z person who did do, quote unquote, all of the right things you're supposed to do. They did get degrees. They did do this. And now they're basically just swimming in debt.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's mainly the upshot.
Larger number.
That's not true, though. This is this weird lie that's been pushed on the American people that education sucks and it doesn't help you. There is a massive premium paid to a 4-year degree. What is this? What is Anecdote Mike doing here? If you know somebody that got a college degree and you compare them to somebody that didn't get a college degree, the guy with the degree is probably doing a fuck ton better. Is there a lot of debt associated with college? Sure. Are there people that get degrees and don't get jobs? Sure. In general, does having a 4-year bachelor's confer like a $20,000 a year wage premium to you? Yes, it generally does. It is a massive upshot. There's a huge upside to getting a 4-year degree. Why would you like, well, I talk to a lot of people that know a lot of people, they got degrees, all they got is debt. Well, who the fuck are you fooling, Mike? Who the fuck do you think are the white collar workers of this country? Do you think it's just people that stumble into their jobs because all of their fucking dads are rich? Everybody's a fucking Trump or a Kennedy in this country? What kind of dumbass fucking bullshit is this?
That's by far the larger number. And then the last point really quick too is like all of the right things you're supposed to do. They did get degrees. They did do this. And now they're basically just swimming in debt.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's mainly the upshot.
Larger number.
That's by far the larger number. And then the last point really
so a large number of black people. I would love to see some studies on this. So a large number of black people know a lot of other black people that all got degrees and all of them are in debt.
quick too is like, what kind of disgusting system do we have to be in that when you finally do meet, I mean, if you go to a private college or an Ivy League campus or even some good state university campuses, you will meet people who are like, I'm upper middle class, usually white, not always, but always upper middle class, if not rich. And they're normal people. They're not dumb, they're not brilliant, and they're there. And there's a lot of them there. And they live in certain neighborhoods, and they got paid, they got trained in certain ways to take certain tests, and they got certain, recommendations. And then you will meet somebody from, like Appalachia or an inner city or somewhere like that is not racially, geographically represented. And you'll meet them and you're like, oh, that person is a fucking genius usually, and also lucked out.
Usually? Wait, what?
Because they had one guidance counselor, like literally had absolutely astoundingly above average talent and then had several lucky breaks. So basically all this is doing is, I mean, it sounds like boring, stupid pablum, but really what it is systemic and aggressive victim blaming. And there's nothing in this guy's record that I have seen that would attest otherwise to any other policy views. Now, look, that's a 25-second clip. So maybe the rest of the debate will come out and he'll say, we need to get jobs. We need to get healthcare. We need to deal with policing. We need to deal with racism. This is very much something that you need to sort of add in today's world because there's a million different clips floating around of people.
Do you think that, like, Pete, in this clip is what he's saying, we just need better role models for black people and that'll solve every single problem in the country? You know that these problems are more complicated than this.
But that one discrete clip, he said what he said. And that is a destructive myth in that 25 seconds, unless it was immediately preceded by, I would be a fucking McKinsey asshole to say.
Yeah, it's dangerous. And I don't know if Pete Buttigieg really has any beliefs to speak of because he has pivoted around so much and shown himself to have no inner core. But if there's anything he sincerely believes in, it's probably the American meritocracy because he is a child of privilege who jumped through the hoops and took the tests and everything is set up to convince these people, oh, now you've earned the right to run the world.
Right.
Like I've been through the gauntlet. I know exactly how it works and what it's like. And it really does. It can trick you because you're like, oh yeah, I'm working really hard. Therefore I must deserve this.
Right.
There's more lines of evidence that Pete Buttigieg is a racist than that black people don't support him because they're homophobic.
Well, indeed, without a doubt.
How disappointing. What a fucking hack. Fuck me, dude.
Don't even have fucking health insurance?
Oh my god, wait, why is he complaining about that? Okay.